Hi everyone, I'm Chanda Bell, and I'm Santa's chief storyteller at the North Pole. Thank you so much for joining us on National Read a Book Day. So I am thrilled on behalf of Santa Claus to share my book, Elf Pets, a Reindeer Tradition. One of the things I love the most about getting to be Santa's chief storyteller is that I get to know all the behind-the-scenes secrets from Santa himself. So some of them I've even included in this book. So this story is Elf Pets, a Reindeer Tradition. Where the moon gently cast a bright bluish glow, and the forest was wrapped in a new fallen snow, the animals gathered to see for themselves the takeoff and landing of Santa's scout elves. There's all sorts of animals that live in the forest at the North Pole. Each elf on the shelf in its red and white suit leapt and spun around with each trumpeter's toot, and drum beats resounded with rat-a-tat-tat, while elves in the air flew this way and that. All creatures and critters, no matter their size, marveled at what they'd just seen with their eyes. They all seemed to know how special it is to work for Kris Kringle and hang out with kids. I think they're a little bit jealous that the elves get to go to your home every day during the Christmas season. The animals turned to the stable nearby. A crash could be heard and a faint little cry. Out the door they all tumbled like dice in a game. 'Twas the 9 mighty reindeer, each known by its name. Above all their heads the sleigh flew through the air, then landed kerplunk right next to a bear. One of my favorite little illustrations is this little reindeer right here. He has the funniest little look on his face. Clearly they have crashed and they were not expecting it. Santa turned to his side, shook his head with regret. Let's try this again. We can't give up yet. The elves stood in silence. The animals did too. The sleigh was not flying. What could they do? The reindeer tried harder. The elves' eyes grew round, but the sleigh did not budge, not an inch off the ground. Christmas spirit is needed to make the sleigh soar, Santa said with a sadness they'd not heard before. In the blink of an eye, the sleigh lifted mid-air. Someone believes, Santa noted with care. I love how the elves here are all celebrating. They have their little Santa banner and their snowballs, and of course, a little candy cane got thrown in the air as well. They love their sweets. It lasted a moment, then back to the ground. Thump! The sleigh hit. The elves glanced around. Santa looked to the stable, and right through the door stood thousands of little tiny reindeer pawing the floor. I wonder what the reindeer are going to do. How do they think they're going to help? I mean, they're so tiny. At once they stepped forward as if to say, Santa, choose us to help pull the sleigh. Santa chuckled and said, my friendly elf pets, this task would be big as it gets. I mean, the giant reindeer that pull the sleigh are huge. How are these little guys going to do anything? The scout elves then shouted, don't count them out. They're tiny like us, but we have no doubt the kids will adopt them and give them a name. They'll treat them like us, one and the same. Those elf on the shelf scout elves are always so wise and so smart. So I'm really glad Santa listened. Santa listened to the stories the scout elves recounted, all the moments of faith, hope, and love they'd encountered. While out on assignment, the big and the small proved the spirit of Christmas was alive after all. Perhaps with more reindeer and faith, that is true, we'd build Christmas magic to help the sleigh through the dangers that often stand in the way of delivering presents by Christmas Day. There are a lot of dangers that stand in the way of Santa delivering presents on Christmas Eve. It is a miracle every year when it happens. Santa turned to the reindeer and stretched out his arm. In his palm, he revealed a tiny heart charm. Now, this is one of my favorite illustrations in the book. I love how all the little reindeer are gathered around Santa's hand to see the magic heart charm he is about to give them. The hope of all children who believe in their hearts in the magic of Christmas will make my sleigh start. Wear this charm proudly for people to see. It should serve to remind them your mission's for me. Let them hold you and love you as much as they can. This heart holds your magic. Do you understand? You see, it's not fragile, not like an elf. Your goal's not the same, to watch from a shelf. Your job is to snuggle and nestle up tight, to store up the wonder that makes me take flight. The night before Christmas, once sleep has come, the sleigh will approach and you will become a fully grown reindeer, brilliant and grand, while magic swirls softly like wind-blown sand. Can you believe with Santa's Christmas magic that these tiny little reindeer can grow full size on Christmas Eve? Of course, only if you love them enough and prove that your love is true. You'll say your goodbyes, then you'll leap for the door. With love from your heart, you'll lift off the floor. Up, up through the air, you'll sail and you'll twirl, happy for time spent with each boy and girl. We'll meet on the roof and you'll take your place as part of the team that makes my sleigh race. Over the rooftops and high above mountains, crossing the rivers, we'll dance over fountains. My sleigh will bring joy on Christmas Eve, thanks to each reindeer and kids who believe. And there we have the Elf Pets Reindeer growing full size, helping to pull Santa's sleigh through the air. It is Christmas magic at its greatest. What did you think? This is one of my favorite stories of all times and so important. I mean, it's how Santa's sleigh flies on Christmas Eve, and we all get to play a part when we adopt our little Elf Pets Reindeer and we snuggle it and we cuddle it and we hold it tight and we share a little more love. So I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season and that you'll get a chance to adopt our little Elf Pets Reindeer friend and help Santa Claus by doing your part.